I want to shout out to DennisSpurling, shout out to Renato Lopez, Joanne, and other people on this channel and the things he's doing. It's great to witness one of my childhood dreams come to fruition. Because as a kid, my dream was to always be a husband. I wanted to have a woman to inspire me to be the best version of myself. I wanted to be a husband eventually, those thoughts at 6 and 7 years old. So I held myself accountable, my mom, my dad. I believed in if you love somebody, you critique them with truth. If they're doing wrong, you tell them what they're doing wrong so they can do better, be the best versions of themselves. I realized that the product of the woman with the reflections of me was not selling. At first, I was like, the men are the majority, the issue. Then, like, it's even. As I got older, I seen it's more of the woman. The humans tend to be as faithful as their options. Men, we tend to put checks on each other's powers so we don't lose sanity. But as far as when the woman goes, they were giving a dose of power and they wanted more and more and more. And certain men, a minority of men, told them they could have this power unchecked, and so they kept on consuming, because women, they're receivers, they are consumers. That's why they're number one consumers in the USA. It is what it is. You give them something, they'll build something from it. But the problem was they started losing their creativity, their femininity, trying to be like a man, thinking that would solve their problems. When in reality, being like a man, we have to really be something. It's a lot. We can choose, if you're a gentleman like me, I can choose to find a sugar mama or something like that and take care of my pride, be here. I can choose to do that. I have that option. I don't want to. I'm a man. I have integrity. I'll die for my respect. So my dream has come to fruition. As far as the black community, well, I gave up on it in 2020-ish. Started arguing with Caucasians about politics, started owning them, and then Kevin Samuels gave me hope. He reminded me of how bad it was and that there's a possibility. But then once he was crapped on by the majority of these lovely ladies, well, show black men, there's no real hope. Now these women, they want us to come to the table and accept them as they are. Listen, we're the men. You want us to be leaders, we're leaders. That means what we say goes. That's what a leader does. You don't tell the leader how to lead. You should be doing this, you should be doing that. That's not, you listen. And if his leadership is not valid, it'll walk away. But nah, you want to be the leader. And you want to use us like attack dogs. It's not going to work that way. Yes, a lot of us have been feminized, have empathy for our brothers. Hopefully the brothers that are really soft don't get taken advantage of too bad overseas. Hopefully they can hit some backbone and still be a man of integrity. Because listen, if you're a doormat, you'll be a doormat anywhere. Here in America, me personally, I've had a lot of play. Because women are very promiscuous. But one thing about it is I'm cool, I'm easy to get along with. But once they start doing negative things to me or saying things that don't make any sense, and they also surprised and shocked, like, this is a man. I got things to work on, yes, but they knew I had integrity. They know I'm not gonna lie to cater to them. I'm gonna tell them the truth. That's what it was. I've always tried my best to tell the truth, and I'm not gonna pick fights with people. People usually pick it with me because they usually can't argue with what I'm saying, so they get personal. And it's funny, I've had women admit to me, like, listen, like, yo, you know more about me than I do myself. I'm like, well, that's because I'm a man. It's my job to know more. I have to know myself and you to protect. That's my job. So, ladies, know this. The moment when more men are overall less correct than women, you better pray to God. because that means collapse in society. We're not allowed to fantasize. We have to be more correct. It is what it is. Unless you want to take a leadership position, which most of you really don't want. You claim to want it, but you want the privilege, but you don't want the responsibility. Unless you're willing to do that, then okay, then you can lead, and then we can talk. But you're not willing to do that. So, as far as for a black woman in the USA, the product that you're giving out is not selling. I'm sorry that you thought that you could force men to accept whatever you give them. You know, you sabotage yourself. Like, why would you want to gain certain weight and make yourself unhealthy and risk your life just to spite a man, or just? But when you break up, you want to show him the kind of woman he couldn't have. Doesn't make any sense. You hurt yourself out of spite. So, either way it goes, I'm gonna keep this short. My thing is, the product's not selling. You can improve. You can check your sisters now. Just admit it. Like, hey, you're checking your sister because you're losing some of your best men. Admit it. Admit you're the majority problem. Admit that you don't survive without men. You need them. Admit it. And be accountable. Because what's happening right now is going down in history. It's not going away, ladies. There's no reset, but there's no infinity complex. It's not going away. This shame is here to stay. You're open to the world now. Now the world is competing for black men. There's more women than men in most places, in my perspective. I have to look it up. I'm pretty sure it is. So yeah, these women, black men are softer, but hopefully these black men get their integrity and don't become doormats. That's the thing. So you're chasing the same men in USA, so you're stuck with the same men. You sharing them anyways. What are you mad for? Oh, you had a retirement plan with good men. That's what you thought was going to happen. Well, that's not going to happen. Sorry that your provision is cut off. You can do better. You got less option now, but hey, you can improve yourself. Maybe Caucasian or Hispanic man that might be, single. And if you improve yourself, you got to really go to a school and train and get that negativity out of you. You might have a chance. The sad thing is, even if all black women improve and all black men improve, there's still about 2 million more black women than us. Yeah. So even if they all improve, it's like, okay, will they be able to find eligible Caucasians, Hispanics, Arabs, Asians in USA? Will they have to go out? If they all improve, there will be men from other countries flying out here because, hey, maybe in their countries, they can't. There's not enough women to choose from, or the women are taken, or they just want to venture out and try something new. Men are hunters. We always will be. Hunters and gatherers. It doesn't matter how much technology changes or advances, we'll always be hunters. And we want peace. That's what we want. We already got to fight the world. We don't want to fight at home. That's why when so many women think of strength, they think of a man. Listen, don't become the man you want. Doesn't work that way. Become what he wants. And one thing I'll give a tip, like, don't ask. Say what you bring. What you bring. Your femininity, your softness, your nurturing, your ability to listen and to be submissive. Just simply being vulnerable. You adjust your submission level as the man shows his leadership level as you get to know each other. Submission is natural. I'm about definitions as simple as this. I talk, I'm submitting to you. You talk, you're submitting to me. That's a form of submission. You submit to your job. But in reality, you want to submit to your husband overall, to the man you want, off gate. And if he's not the right man, okay, own the kind of woman you are and move on. You will, trust me, you will attract good men. Or men that are suitable for yourself. But you got to fix you. But I'm going to go to bed. Shout out to the people. I'll tag them in this. Hopefully I was making a lot of sense. I like we're getting somewhere. I'm building bridges. And no one's going to stop me from building these bridges. And I appreciate Mr. DennisSpurling trusting the people I brought on. Black Spider Guy advice, Renato Lopez. I appreciate that, you know, because I'm not going to bring somebody who is a risk to a reputation. So no, these people I evaluated, these people I've talked to, and I see what their core messages and their core, what their goal is and what they get from this. So appreciate that, Mr. Spurling. And but here's one thing though. After last week, some things seem too good to be true. Whenever things seem too good to be true, there's always some evil coming. So all of us allies brace for it. Brace for the insults. Brace for possible people trying to have repercussions. Stand together, and they won't break us.